Welcome back. I'm Lynda Kinkade. We have now obtained some horrific new images of the massacre carried out by Hamas at the Nova Musical Festival in southern Israel last Saturday. We have to warn you, what you're about to see is graphic. The images show the attackers spraying portable restrooms with bullets, trying to kill anyone hiding inside. These pictures come from body cam footage taken by Hamas militants. More than 260 people were killed at that music festival. Joining me now is Natalie Sanandaji, an American who survived the Nova Festival massacre. Natalie, we really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
No matter how much we've read or seen in the last few days since the massacre at the festival, it's still hard to comprehend what you have experienced. How are you doing?
I think I'm still in a state of shock. I don't think I've fully comprehended what I've experienced. Each time that I speak about it, I think it becomes more real to me. But going through something like this, and surviving it and seeing what happened to the innocent children who didn't survive, to the children who were kidnapped, killed, raped, it feels very surreal. It feels as if I wasn't there because I made it out.
So you were in Israel for a wedding and you decided to go to this musical festival with some friends and found yourself among the thousands hunted down by Hamas terrorists. When did you realize what was happening? What did you see?
This was my first time ever experiencing rockets. I have been coming to Israel almost every year my entire life, but I have never been in Israel at a time of war. But for kids at this festival, they've experienced things like this before. So I looked to them, I looked to see their reaction, and for the most part, they all seemed fairly calm at first. Nobody could have predicted what was about to happen.
So
We waited a few minutes to see if the rockets would continue, and they did. I could tell that the other kids were starting to get a little bit more nervous, which made me a little bit more nervous. I think the first time we understood the severity of the situation was when they shut off the music. Um, the security of the event had asked us to please pack up all our things and go to our cars. We packed up our things, we went to our cars. Something that I would like to mention is because we still didn't understand the severity, because we still didn't know that there were terrorists on foot just a few feet away from us coming to shoot at us, I had told my friends, I'm going to go use the bathroom one last time before we go into the car because I knew we would have a drive of minimum 3-4 hours. I knew that there was going to be traffic heading out because we're all going to be heading out down the same dirt road. I went to use the bathrooms one last time by the exit of the campgrounds. And yesterday I saw a video that surfaced of the terrorists coming to those exact bathrooms probably minutes after I used it and just shooting at the bathroom stalls. And yesterday, honestly, was one of the first times I really, like, it really occurred to me, I could have died. I could have been shot. I could have been one of the unlucky ones.
So seeing that video, it all came back to you, just how close you were, how you were one of the lucky ones to escape that horror.
Yes, because I was there. I was in those stalls just minutes before. So when we went to our cars, we were instructed to start driving out on the dirt road. Try to imagine all of these children were in an open field. This field is not made for driving. You couldn't drive on most of it. You couldn't just drive in any direction. We're all going down the same road. We're all trying to respect the fact that we're all just trying to make it out alive. Obviously, it caused traffic. It was very congested. And then the security started telling us to go in another direction. This obviously made me a little nervous. It made me kind of realize that there's something that we don't know that's going on other than the rockets.
Security asked you
Oh, please
to
go ahead.
exit the car, and then you were running on foot, one of the many
Yes,
chased by
so
terrorists.
they eventually started to yell at us, pull your car over to the side. You're making yourselves too much of an easy target and run. We were running for about 4 hours. Anytime the shooting subdued, we slowed down a little, gave ourselves a chance to catch our breath. And then as soon as we heard the shooting again, we had to run. I couldn't even tell what direction the shooting was coming from. I honestly couldn't tell if I was running in the direction of the shooting or away from it. Um, One of my friends had told me there was one instance where we almost went to hide in a ditch. And split second, he yelled at us and said, "Don't go in the ditch, don't go in the ditch, just keep running." And we had later found out that the other kids who decided to hide in the ditch had been shot.
And of course, we now know that over 250 young people were killed at that festival, brutally murdered.
Yes.
Why do you think the festival was one of the first targets of Hamas?
I don't have the answer to that. I can't understand why Hamas target innocent children that had nothing to protect themselves, why they would go into neighborhoods, kidnap grandmothers, kill them, and tape it on their own phone and put it to their Facebook for their families to find out, why they would kill babies. I can't understand why they did anything that they did. Possibly their choice for attacking the festival was they just knew it was such a big amount of concentrated, innocent young people without weapons to protect themselves in one space. And that was their way of making a bigger impact. I I can't even try to comprehend these monsters. I don't have the answer to that.
We know that Israel appears ready to launch a ground offensive into Gaza. What do you want to see happen?
I want to see all of my soldiers come out safe. I have friends who were in the party who survived that party, who have now re-enlisted into the army and are risking their lives again to protect our people and to protect our country. I I can't comment on what the army is going to do if they are going to go in with a ground offensive. The only thing that I would like to see happen is for no more soldiers to die, for no more innocent people to die.
We appreciate your time, and I'm so sorry you had to experience that, and I hope you're getting the support you need right now. Natalie Sanandaji, thank you so much, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you.